This week on Hermitcraft.
Hello there, my little skadoodlers.
Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is PixelRiffs. Our writer is SloyXP. Captions on this video are provided by Liara. And while we love to make much of the economy on Minecraft servers such as this one, you know we're in fully capitalist territory when someone builds a bank, and then someone else builds a machine where you can pay to torture them eternally.
It's getting dark a little bit.
Season 11 has to move with the times. After all, the server and its inhabitants aren't getting any younger, which seems to be on Gemini Tay's mind at least. And as someone who's been in my 30s for a while now, I can confirm that it's not all migraines and getting struck by lightning. That's just a mumbo thing.
And then the 1 week where I was okay, I almost got struck by lightning. And that is like the genuine, no lie.
But this recap isn't getting any younger either, so let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with good times with Scar and his latest expansion to the Hermitcraft economy, the bank.
It's a little judgmental as I was intending, but it does have a little bit of whimsy, right? We have a little bit of green mixed here.
The idea of the build here is to create a place for hermits to store their profits in safety, as well as display how much wealthier they are than their server mates. You can't do that with just the ender chest. Maybe this will finally stop people giving infinite resources to each other or using Banana Boom Boom as payment.
Look at this, it's got like the little, the knocker thing. You know, it goes knock knock, bing bing, bong bong.
The locals respond excitedly by placing a piglet at the top of the entrance, transforming the whole thing into a piggy bank. Little do they know, this bank enterprise is just a front, because the back and sides aren't built yet. It's still better for storing diamonds in than the many other banks, since they're the river ones. Ever the conman, Scar also attempts to figure out a monorail for the server, having learned the trick to piloting an alley by attaching it to a boat with a lead.
Guys, I figured it out, but the problem is he flew away with the dirt, and he won't come back. Did they code the ally to be a cat, like a secret, like, fairy cat?
Somehow he stops just short of realizing that he just needs to add an actual rail to the contraption to get it working. After all, that's what the rail in monorail stands for. And we know that thanks to Cubfam135 actually making a functioning prototype for the yellow nether hub tunnel. It even utilizes the chicken in a boat in a cart engine technology to produce unlimited torque and infinite eggs. You can't get that from your Create Aeronautics.
Hey, there we go. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Other transport options rely on you being an ice princess, as DocM77 showcases with a set of Frostwalker boots and a skin that shows he's finally accepted being this season's Elsa now that his own child has made the comparison.
But look at her. Even the blue Crocs.
We know the cold never bothered him, but the ore-snatching of last season did. And now that all Scar's extra responsibilities to the Hermitcraft charity event are done, Doc plans to return to tormenting him with remote damage redstone. Not only that, but he links together a chain of nether portals so he can remotely activate the Torment Nexus, then builds a shop at spawn where he can hand over that remote to anybody on the server, provided they've got the diamonds to pay.
Is this thing next to my place like temporary, or... It's like, no, actually, I have it there because it's in the chunk loading grid and it's my new shop.
So with the bank looming in the distance, this high-value shop has various payment options. A single diamond block will allow you to inflict pain on Scar by hitting an effigy that pops out of the ground. A higher payment will activate the hands-free version so you can go watch him take damage in person. And there's even a crowd-funded version where a full stack of diamond blocks activates the machine indefinitely, basically until Doc goes and turns it off. The icing on the cake will be provided by the community, who Doc asks to crowdsource the best noises of Scar taking surprise damage so they can be played as music disc soundbites while the Torment Nexus is doing its dastardly work. Of course, alternatively, you can just go watch Scar take damage on Twitch. He's perfectly capable of doing that without any redstone machinery at all.
The shopping district is bound to be chaotic and there will be built there, whatever. Then you gotta be flexible, it happens.
A much different new shop is False Symmetry's False Mart, where she is generally selling a lot of things, but also complicated banners.
I did design some banners on stream, or at least find some designs to make into banners, and these are what I'm going to be using to decorate this room. But
what makes them extra complicated is the gacha machine on one of the brownstone's floors, not yet stocked, which would explain why Keralis is not yet circling it like a hawk. But never mind the detailed interior, False really pulls out all the stops with the banner-based pixel art for the back of the building. It's a recreation of an actual screenshot fed into a special web tool compressed to just enough blocks, but still somehow recognizable from afar, given you don't go so far that the banners stop rendering.
So basically, this is made by a program. It's called Images to Banners. I'll try and link it below. Shout out to the creator of this. It's actually an incredible program that...
This is not an issue for Azumovoid, who keeps his album art collection indoors. With his usual disc collection only decorated with Minecraft's own album arts, Azuma moves the posters of hermitized album arts into their own gallery next door, labelled Art in massive bold letters. And for his own enjoyment, he also builds a Noteblocks sequencer playing the Final Fantasy VII Victory theme in there, so it sounds like he left his PlayStation running.
Okay, I fixed the chords. Some of them were detuned by an octave.
Anyway, we would be remiss not to point out that the album art for Zombie Cleo calls them a mistress of stands, and that makes them sound like a JoJo character. Cleo and Rendog do spend some time in their episode comparing their ultimate hug attacks and agree that Skizzleman's one is stronger.
So
Skizz does give a good...
He gives
Skizz
a great
basically
hug.
engulfs you, right?
Yeah,
Like-
100%.
The big return from the charity hangout gives Cleo an opportunity to evaluate their plan for the base and outline it on convenient in-game signs. It's unclear how hiding a bloody handprint at Scar's base fits into the conspiracy corkboard, but surely building a cockatiel on Pearlescent Moon's bird tree was pivotal. Which yes, Cleo builds a cockatiel out of armor stands for Pearl's epic bird poop tree, despite grey parrots already being in the game and on that very tree. It's important, their one is bigger.
No questions. No questions. Look away now.
The charity stream continues to echo through the server as Corrales returns to his Centurions at the shopping district to rename them into the top contributors.
So yeah, these guys will be rotating, but thank you so much.
Luckily, they paid before he discovered the lead to boat technology. These people could have been in a boat spinning in circles right now.
I mean, and then like, okay, we would need to slow it down somehow. I'm not sure how to do that.
The reason Corrales is researching subtle ways of looping a boat in space is that his latest addition to the Roman village is a fishing pier, with the rest of the fishing infrastructure. This means nets, shacks, and even fisherman villages. Now they have water access, but still no geese to alert in case of a fire. For his convenience, Cubfan135 is okay dressing up as a whole variety of animals, even building a convenient auto-equipment display to store all the outfits he uses for trolling people during their live streams. These are basically fursuits, but don't let that distract you from the fact that his new netherite-trimmed netherite armor means Cub can now summon the Mastodon Zord. The final and most complex piece of his new armory, however, is the armor set randomizer machine that at a press of a button generates an armor stand wearing a full outfit of assorted pieces from Cub's extended dresser, which has to be super convenient for a casual Friday, or when you feel like looking like a Goodwill store collapsed on you.
Check it out, everybody. We got ourselves the Armorificationator 3000 now completed. Looks like this. It almost looks like a little house in the corner of our base.
A whole lot of actual Goodwill collapses on Gemini Tay when she complains to Skizzleman about his price on calcite, and he offers her the same stuff with a 50% discount. And speaking as someone who has had to harvest calcite for a build, why am I not playing with Skizzleman?
Yeah, I'll slice them in half. All right, so you got a project in mind, do you?
You want to try that again, or...?
I know, you're the best, and you bet. I'm sick, I got an excuse.
Okay, back to work.
What had to be a tax write-off is very helpful for Gem now that she's in the tall building part of her Blood Church build, and if you thought she already was, you ain't seen nothing yet. With most of the building now complete, Gem has to address the towery bit with all the dragons on it, which is why she goes off with Grian to help him completely flood Joel Smallish Beans' storage room with dried ghasts instead. The two of them even get Joel's wife, Lizzie, to distract him just so they have more time to replace all his bone meal with dried ghasts too, and run off unnoticed. Gem's own home is covered in B-dubs paintings, and violence begets violence. Though it is Grian who did both of those pranks, so maybe the cycle of violence is just the circle on the floor around him.
Please.
I gave you what?
A strand of your hair.
When?
Oh, please, I'm not going to look really weird.
You've got a bit of my hair! You took some of my hair. Where is it now?
I may have binned it.
I cannot be bothered to move him.
I just love rage baiting him, so this is great.
Okay.
The sudden dehumidification of his storage does not stop Joel from his work on the whimsical base, and so he whimsically creates the biggest mob farm on the server. Not intentionally, the dark dimension of monsters is actually just him covering up the forest nearby his base to build on the mossy terrain he actually wants, right on top of the trees. The floating slab goes so far, Joel even runs out of moss in the process, and has to get his own moss farm just to resupply. though luckily the same problem doesn't arise for the granite he's using to build up the sides of the hills busting out of the green plains. Ironically, this also successfully horse-proofs the area, since animals spawn specifically on grass and the zombie ones under the rug are too under the rug to matter.
84,000 moss I've placed. 84,000 and 11,000 granite. Oh yeah, that's looking good. That one as well. Mysterious. Look at the water flowing. Oh, I'm excited for the future.
Most importantly, this is a great opportunity to expand his underground facility as well, and he can do that without any digging, especially since the Shifra River woods can be set on fire. Tango Tech, in the meantime, has been living in the dark for most of the season now, and judging by his plans, won't be getting out anytime soon.
It's pretty big, pretty big.
Under his Blanket Fort mountain, Tango is starting the construction of the actual map that his Decked Out 3 game will take place on, except not the actual map, because that's a separate project.
It's why this hole is here. We know the map is going to go there in a good location.
Still, for viewer convenience, Tango outlines his ideas for the game in Photoshop, with the main play zones marked for future convenience, as well as the black skybox perimeter that took 29 stacks of black wool to just outline.
You know, this is oddly satisfying. I kind of feel like I've, drawn a line in the sand here to kind of get started, or wool in the sky, as the case might be.
And technically, the work on the actual play area does indeed begin, as Tango builds the first building of the lost town of Greywick, the Tavern. Actually, one of the 5 stops that the players will fight for control over, as the team that invested the most into the given shop will receive a boon from it that will significantly alter the gameplay.
I'm hoping the ongoing battle for control of the shops on the map should be fairly competitive.
This adds a player versus player interaction to the open world roguelike, essentially elevating it from an overcomplicated genre into straight up MMORPG. Scratch that, Tango also introduces the idea of each guild of players having their own hideout so they can invest resources into it to upgrade it for even more boosts to their arsenal. So actually, Decked Out 3 is going to be an MMORPG with player housing. Josh Strifehaze will have a field day.
And I really think it helps build that sense of team and teamwork and working together to achieve goals. I'm very excited about it, but we'll see. We'll see.
If you missed the C-Team's Whack-A-Dragon antics last week, look no further than Vintage Beef, who covers the whole thing and includes flashback footage of the dramatic moments for that cinematic coverage.
Go, go, go!
Here we go, Ren. You got this, buddy.
No, it didn't work.
Cancel.
That was my mistake.
Whoa, how'd you not die?
How did I know? Wait,
How did
I
you
not take any damage?
It's worth the price of admission just to see them do the Minecraft equivalent of the human pyramid.
That was really cool, Skiz. Props to you.
Good.
Having floored the dragon, Beef goes back to flooring his shopping mall. Having decided on a design, he fills out the rest of the tiles, then moves on to custom trees in the central planters and boxes of azalea shrubs adjacent to the seating area for the food court. So expect a Sbarro, a Cinnabon, a Burger King and a Panda Express to just appear there later, regardless of whether he built them or not.
I'm gonna guess 80 people, right? 3, that's 12.
We also get an extra slice of beef boxed to go when XB Crafted drops in on him to save him from the dangers of being AFK. Beef shows up later for the full base tour, so XB shows him the latest work on the Temple of Golem, which may or may not include Beef's own grave. Guess that depends how future AFK sessions turn out.
You got somebody in mind?
I don't know.
Open spots here.
XB joins Beef on his tour to spread the good word about animated prismarine textures to the other folks of the server, then returns to continue flooring the temple, adding a water basin and some copper golem candelabras, just as Keralis shows up to see what new features he can wax.
Unreal Engine 5, Minecraft 2.
And finally, there's Mumbo. I just want you to know that everything is fine.
Who needs to fire back at Grian for last week's harmless pranks, so he plants a dispenser surrounded by skulk sensors that will definitely not fire an arrow at the array of end crystals inside of Grian's dome, but hopefully it'll have Grian tiptoeing around for a comical amount of time.
I think I've given enough warnings. I think I should give a clear line of sight from this direction, to be fair.
After Gemini Tay swings by to remind us all that this prank war is happening between grown adults, Mumbo is mostly happy he doesn't have to think about interior design yet. Because the exteriors are his focus, and he returns to one of the noisiest redstone worlds we've ever seen to consider which buildstone fan design to add to his factory wall. The pale oak. The chimneys also get some permanent texture additions inspired by how funky they looked when clouds passed through them. And the rest is dragon whacking. Except for the moment where game recognizes game, and he has to acknowledge how Pearlescent Moon presses shift.
Oh, what the heck?
That's her pinky!
No way!
That's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is SlayXP and my name is Pixelriffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara, and thank you to Merely Adequate for that mumbo transition. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.